There is no shortage of whack jobs trying to prove the existence of fictional creatures called cryptids. You got that whole backwoods chewbub crew that are probably related to me on Mountain Monsters that have been trying to prove Bigfoot's existence for the past 20 years, only to never even find like a strand of his hair or even like a little wad of spit that he spat out on the ground. But yet the show is still airing to this very day. But regardless, we're not talking about Bigfoot or mountain monsters today. We're talking about a different cryptid from Loch Ness. The Loch Ness Monster, also known as Nessie. Because recently, actually yesterday, around 200 people turned out for the biggest search for Nessie in the past 50 years. Let me reiterate that for those people in the back that might have not heard me. Around 200 human beings, living, breathing, showed up to Loch Ness to search for the Loch Ness Monster. A creature that doesn't exist. It's a fairy tale. It's a fictional creature. But regardless, they all showed up and put in their best efforts nonetheless. It says that around 300 people also tuned into the efforts via a live stream. And I couldn't find the actual live stream. I don't know if they re-uploaded it or whatever. But I'm assuming what they mean is that people looked at it on this website because there's live cameras that you can click on these 5 different places and look at Loch Ness. You just click it and it'll play the live streams for you. Anyways, this is what I'm assuming they did when it says they watched via a live stream. 300 people did. But regardless, they had boats running from 10 to 6 p.m. on Saturday. So they literally put in a 9 to 5 shift. They put in an 8-hour shift on a weekend to search for a creature that has never existed. Sorry, I know I keep saying never existed, and some people may be like, oh, well, you're smoking crack. I swear to God, Nessie's real. I seen her and Bigfoot out on a date last night. I know they're real. Look at this picture out here. That's Nessie. That picture up there, that's the Loch Ness Monster. I could recreate this picture probably with just a little bucket of water and then like sticking my finger through and arching it a bit. But that's just par for the course when it comes to urban legends. You know, the pictures or the proof of their existence is either really grainy, the most horrible picture you've ever seen. Like literally the first image ever taken is more high quality than the cryptid picture. Or it's actually high quality, but it's a hoax. It's a sham. It's a ruse. It's not real. And that's my bad. I gotta correct this. They didn't just do 10 to 6 on Saturday. They did it on Sunday as well. They wasted 8. They put in 2 shifts on the weekend to search for this little creature. And they stopped at 17 different spots around the loch and just peeled their eyes open trying to find Nessie. And now this is the part that you're going to want to prepare yourself for. It's shocking. It'll shock you to your core. You might want to hold on to your socks because it'll probably blow those off as well. They didn't find the Loch Ness Monster. Actually, they didn't find anything closely related to Nessie. They didn't find anything of substance whatsoever. They wasted 16 hours of their lives, and that's about it. Who would have thought they didn't end up finding a fictional creature? Who would have thunk it that something that only exists in imagination land wasn't discovered in Loch Ness? The only bit of, I say this very loosely, evidence that they found was that they have, the monster hunters that they're calling themselves, have reported to hear 4 distinctive noises while they were braving through the horrific Scottish weather. They heard 4 noises during a thunderstorm while they were searching for Nessie. And that is what they're running with. They're grabbing that and saying, this right here, we don't know that it's Nessie, but we don't know that it's not Nessie. Which is the thought process of every cryptid hunter. They can't find any actual proof, any actual evidence, so they're like, maybe, I can't prove that it is, but I can't prove that it isn't. Checkmate. But they came out there with a bunch of equipment and whatnot. The LNE, which is the Loch Ness Exploration, joined forces with the Loch Ness Center. That's a fusion dance for the ages right there. I'm sure that's the most powerful cryptid hunting group known to man. When the 2 Loch Ness groups come together, they're unstoppable. They're an unstoppable force, and Nessie's the immovable object. But anyways, they also brought some some different types of equipment to listen to the water, which is where they heard the sounds from. And it says they were testing the equipment and they did hear 4 distinctive noises that we didn't know where it was coming from. We didn't know the origin of what it was, which is quite exciting. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? They do that every single time. Every single time. You can watch Mountain Monsters and everything, and it's still the same formula. They'll hear a sound, or they'll see some like little tiny blur move across the camera, and they'll be like, oh my god, what was that? We don't know what it was. It wasn't Bigfoot, but it could have also been Bigfoot. Like, we don't know what these noises were. We don't know the origin of them. It could just be like a fish burping or taking a poopy. A fish could have been farting underwater, or it could have been Nessie farting underwater. We don't know that it was, but we don't know that it wasn't. Watertight argument right there. Anyways, I know I've been very mean in this video, trying to rip all these people a new butthole for participating in something that they seem quite passionate about. I think it's neat. I think it's fun and cool when people do things like this. But at the end of the day, man, you shouldn't expect to find fictional creatures when you go looking for them. It's like the same thing as me going out in my backyard where I live in West Virginia and being like, hey, I'm gonna go find Mothman. Like, I really want to believe in this kind of stuff. I have some goofy conspiracies of my own that you would think I was insane for believing in, but this in specific, these cryptids, it's just too far-fetched. Anyways, I'll end it off with a quote here from one of these tinfoilists. They said, I believe there is something big lurking in the depths of Loch Ness, Nixon stated. Now, I don't know whether it's a monster, I don't know what it is, but I reckon there's something down there. Yeah, I do reckon there's something down there. Fish. If you're gonna believe in something this crazy, just go full into it. Believe it fully. Be like, yes, Nessie is here. This evidence that we found, these 4 noises, were Nessie. And I don't believe it could be any other thing, because it only points to it being Nessie sounds. Like, we know what Nessie farts sound like, and that was a Nessie fart. Nothing else could be down there except for the Loch Ness Monster. Now, if you did something like that, I would respect you a lot more. I would still think you're crazy. The craziness doesn't really change. I still think you're a goofy goober nonetheless. But if you're gonna believe in something crazy, just fully dive into it. Don't pussyfoot around it. Don't sit on the fence. Go fully into it and be like, yes, I believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I think what we found points to the Loch Ness Monster. Be confident about it. Be confident in your craziness. Anyways, I've been talking to this camera for far too long. I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to talk about this story because I thought it was insane that nearly 200 people showed up to search for a creature that doesn't exist, expecting to find something only to be shocked when they didn't find a fictional creature. But I'll catch you in the next one.